Okay. Let's take a look at now. We're gonna talk about adverbs today, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about comparatives, which are also adverbs, but a different kind of style, a specific style. Kind of like articles, the articles and the are specific adjectives, right? These are adjectives because they tell us something about a noun, all right? Comparatives are going to tell us something about verbs. Adverbs enhance our verbs, while adjectives enhance, describe, or modify nouns and pronouns. We learned that and talked about it on day 81 and 82, maybe even a little bit on 80, I'm not sure. We talked about the different twos as well on day 81. To, T-O, to, T-O-O, and to, T-W-O. So you should be using those three different types of to correctly in your writing. Of course, you're using it correctly when you talk, aren't you? Like when you say, 2 brownies is what I would like. We don't have to worry about which 2 it is. But when we are, of course we don't have to worry about which 2 it is. Although I do recall thinking about which 2 I was using, TWO in that case. When I was little, I remember thinking when I first learned these different forms of to, I remember that I would then spell it in my head. So if I were saying 2 brownies, please, I'd be like TWO. And I would be like, I want to go to the store too, TWO. Although the to the store was TO, right? What's going on? Well, that was better. That was a good choice. What's going on with this? I don't know. You just have to have a little bit of something on it, right? I hope that's all it is. I dropped them twice. Okay. Then what else? See? I talk a lot. I'm running late. But you are learning something. Adverbs modify verbs, but they also modify adjectives and other adverbs. Woo, those are busy words. Adverbs are really busy running around describing all kinds of things, aren't they? Describing verbs. We know verbs are action verbs and linking verbs. That's what we know. They describe other adjectives. Oh, that's so interesting. So if I had a word like that was a large, and I know large is an adjective, would it be very large? Would that be an adverb? Yes, it would be if that's what you were thinking. Absolutely, that's how you use it. Large is the adjective describing, did I say rock? A large rock? A very large rock. Not just a large rock, but a very large rock. How large? Very large. That is an adverb that is describing an adjective large, right? It also describes other adverbs, like very, very large. How about that? Right? Yeah, right? How about very, very large? Extra super large. What are they? Super, well, no, that would be super size cup. Yeah. Extra super large boulder, right? Because we have to have the noun. We have to have the adjective large. And then we have extra super, extra. How much super is it? Extra super. Super large, large rock. Getting it? Did you get it? Did you get that? Hey. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's where we're at. So let's go to our worksheets for our adverbs. We'll start slow. We'll pick up the pace a little bit. I haven't found some extra hard worksheets yet. I found some pretty easy ones, but we got to start easy. I found a couple harder ones. Let's take a look at the worksheets. Wasn't let me find this. Let me see here. All right, let's start here with some so this is, where did I get this from? I got it from Teachers Pay Teachers. That's where I got it from. Teachers Pay Teachers. So we've got adverbs describe a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs tell us how often, when, and where. And there's going to be something you might be noticing here, especially with all of the words in the how category. Sorry, that was oh, I have a lot of black lung going on in the house since I have no heat and I'm burning wood. Did you notice something in the how category? Did you know something that's very similar in the how category there for all of those words? Of course you did. What is similar in all of those words? What's similar is, let's make this a little bit brighter color. Oh, there it is. Couldn't find it. What looks similar? Of course you know. It's the ly. So when we see lys, we know let me actually do this. I'll do this. We know that's an adverb. Carefully open the container. She jogged around the course happily. He was speaking loudly, right? She ran around the course happily. How did she run around the course? Happily. How was he speaking? Loudly. How was, I forgot what I said for carefully. Opening. He was carefully opening the jar, right? So, opening, it's describing opening, the verb opening. The snowflakes fell silently. I was trying to think of I don't think I'm going to be able to think of one for an adjective or another adverb. Quickly. Yeah, I don't think how is going to give me one for. So those, how really is describing basically only verbs. Although I really can't say that. I'm not really sure. I could probably find an exception. Maybe you can find an exception. Let's see here. How often? Always. I didn't have all those words up there. I'm sorry for how. Carefully, easily, happily, loudly, sadly, silently, softly, quickly. Let's get that little thing off there, shall we? There we go. How often? Always, frequently. There we have another ly there. Every day, later, often, never, now, sometimes. She checks over her homework only sometimes. Only is an adverb that describes sometimes. Sometimes describes check. She checks her homework only sometimes, right? She washes her car frequently. Washes, how often? Frequently. These are adverbs. And as we get to know our adverbs, we're going to better be able to diagram sentences, right? Okay. When? These are the questions that adverbs answer. How? How often? When? After? Already? Before? So we could see lots of indications of time here, right? And then before, early, since, soon, and today. And then where? Away, here, inside, outside, everywhere, and there. So the big thing for you to remember is to remember that adverbs answer those main questions. How? How often? Come on. How often, when, and where. Those are, and then the other helpful thing also is that when you see a word with an ly, that tells you that that's an adverb as well. Okay? All right. Let's get some practice in, right? Let's get our practice in now. Okay. Okay, so now we know that adverbs describe verbs. So circle the adverb and underline the verb they describe. Okay? We're going to also take a look at some other things too. We're going to look at that verb a little bit more closely as well, right? So the first one is the waiter patiently took our order. So we underline the word took and we circle the word patiently. What does that tell us? How the waiter took our order, right? It tells us how the waiter took our order. So we want to remember those questions. How often, when, and where. right? Try and remember those. So that's, and here we can see here that it says that adverbs usually describe or modify verbs. Usually, that's not the only thing we learned. They also modify adjectives and other adverbs. But for this exercise, what we're doing is we're looking at the verb and the adverb. So this is a real simple exercise for learning our adverbs. All right? So let's go ahead and identify our verb for the next sentence. All right, so I've got my line ready. It's a lot thicker than the other one so you can see it better. The cat swiftly caught the mouse under his paws. Do you know what the verb is? The verb is caught, right? Now, I want to ask you a couple other things about the verbs so that we can get a good review in and see how much we've learned, all right? So we have the verb there, the verb caught, okay? Excuse me. Hold on. We have the verb caught, right? So, first of all, is caught an action verb or is it a linking verb? Can you see the cat doing that? If you could see the cat doing that, that would be an action verb, right? Otherwise, a linking verb just links our subject to something else. Can you see the cat swiftly catching the mouse? Yeah, right? So that's an action verb. Is that a past, present, or future? Is that past, present, or future? Did he catch it right now? Is he in the midst of catching it? Will he catch it in the future? Or did he catch it in the past? He caught it in the past, didn't he? So look at how much we've learned. We have identified our verb. We've identified it's an action verb. And we've identified that that verb is past tense. Bravo! Where's the confetti? I told you that before, don't I? Right, I told you that before. Oh, I'm getting that one. I'll overuse that one too, I'll overuse and then the confetti. We need some confetti right now, don't we? No, Dr. Feravich, what we need is heat. Okay. But what we're supposed to be doing is identifying the word that describes the verb caught. How did the cat catch the mouse? The cat caught the mouse swiftly. Very good. The cat caught the mouse swiftly. So we're gonna do things a little different. We got the verb in red and underline, and we're gonna have the adverbs, because those are the ones we care about. Those are gonna be in a nice pink, aren't they? Yes, they are. That's what we're picking, a nice pink for that. Okay. Next sentence. Jenna rides her bicycle well. Okay, so let's find the verb. The verb is rides, right? So let's go ahead and is that an action verb or is that a linking verb? Can you see her doing that? Can you see Jenna doing that or no? Yeah, of course we can see Jenna riding her bike, right? Now, how does she ride her bike? She rides her bike how? Jenna rides her bike well, or her bicycle in this case, right? Jenna rides her bicycle how? She rides her bicycle well. So even though well is way at the end of the sentence, instead of like in the sentence before where it was right next to the verb, this here, the adverb is at the end of the sentence. So we can see that adverbs can be placed anywhere in a sentence, right? But it still describes the verb. And now, rides, is that present tense, past tense, or is that future tense? That's present tense, isn't it? She's doing it right now. She rides her bicycle well. Right now, in the present, we can even see Jenna over there riding her